So let us start with the practical demonstration for RDS Read Replicas. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. We already covered the theory for read replicas and what actually are the use cases. So let's get started. Let me just go to RDS and let me create a new database for it, new RDS for it. Okay, so here I'll create this time. I'll take MariaDB. Okay, and engine version you can select based upon your application, but I'll go with the default. You just need to click over here and you can get the versions, right? Let me go with the default one. And the template here, we have this sort of template: production, dev test, and free tier. Let me go with the free tier. And instance name, so it would be RDS DB. Okay, a username would be admin and password would be again password. Okay, I'm just keeping it for now for demonstration purpose. And here, when I scroll down, you can allocate the storage, but I'm just going with the flow. No changes required as of now. Just we are focusing on read replicas. Okay, so we don't want to allow the public access. And then here in the availability zone, let me select US is 2A. Let's keep rest by default as is, and let me click on create database. It is creating the database for us meanwhile, and actually it will take some time for the creation. It may take nearly about 4 to 5 minutes for the creation of the DB. Meanwhile, what we can do is we can just go to EC2 and create the EC2 instance for us. Okay, and we can actually configure it for our use case. So I'll write RDS server. Okay, so and let me take the AMI for Ubuntu. Okay, rest we will keep as default as is, and let me just allow the HTTP traffic. Let me just launch the template. Okay, so the template is been launched, and we again here we need to wait for the EC2 instance to be up and running, right? So meanwhile, it is creating the instance for us. We can just go with the theory, right? So in the theory, we learned that read replicas can be used for cross EZs, right? Well, that's correct point that we should actually consider. So when we will be creating the read replica at that specific time, what we are going to do is we are going to check whether we are able to do the cross region replication or not, right? And for this demonstration purpose, what we are going to do is we are going to create a database. Second, we are going to create a table. Okay, and we are going to list it. So if you're someone who is not aware of MariaDB commands, no need to worry. Just write MariaDB create database command. Okay, and here you will get the documentation. I'll just suggest geek for geeks for now, and here we'll get the uh, commands along with the uh, explanation, okay, which would be easier for us to demonstrate for this specific one, right? Let me go back to instance and let me just connect it. Okay, instance is up and running. Let me go back and check. It is still creating the database. Okay, meanwhile what we are going to do is we are going to take the super user access from here. So by typing sudo su, and I'll just update apt update. Okay, and then we are going to install a SQL client on it, which will be helpful for us to connect to the RDS. So from EC2 we would be connecting to RDS using that specific client, right? Okay, let me write apt install MySQL client. Okay, so it will install the client in or EC2. Okay, so once everything is done, now you can say your environment is actually ready and it is configured for the RDS. Okay, now let me go back here and check whether the database is created or not. It is still in creation mode because it actually takes some time to be created. So let us wait for it to be created. Once it is done, we are going to, oh, right. Okay, so basically it is created. No need to wait. Okay, so let me just click on RDSDB and let me just copy the endpoint. Go back to EC2 and here I'll type MySQL -h followed by the host name, the endpoint which we copied. Okay, the username -u admin followed by the password -p password. There is one more thing that I would like to point out is like whenever you are using -p, so don't you no need to give a extra space, because if you give, that will give you an error. However, if you are not providing, if you want to provide password at the fly, so just add the password as is. Okay. All right. So you can see the database is created. Now let me just run command show databases. Okay, you can see the databases are there. However, let us refer this specific website. Okay, Geek for Geeks. So there is one query given to us, that is create database products. Let me copy it and paste it over here. Okay, it is showing as a query. Okay, one row affected. Okay, all right, meaning things are running good so far. Let me just copy this command, and actually it will show the database which is been created. Okay, and you can see that product is created. Now the next thing that we are going to do here is, let me just scroll down, and let me create select the database products. In order to use it, we type use products, and which will actually indicate that you are switching to that specific database. Now the next thing is, we want to create a table. Okay, so let me just search for how we can create table in MariaDB. Okay, so let me go back, create table. Okay, and okay, let us take, okay, here is create table in MariaDB, and let me copy one of the example which they might have given in the documentation. All right, here it is, and let me just copy it again, paste it. Okay, it is showing that the table has been created, and if you want to see actually the tables, just copy the command, that is show tables, and when you paste it, your tables which you created will be here. All right, and if you want to actually see how the table is created, so basically the name of the table is workers, so desk workers, which is actually describing the table. All right, so yeah, actually we have done the initial setup whatever we need or actually is required for read replica. So let me just do an exit. Our work in EC2 server is done for now. Let me go back to database. Okay, and here what it might be doing at the back end is whatever we were creating, it was just creating a backup for us. Okay, so it is doing the real-time backup for us. Okay, now the next thing that we wanted to actually do is we want to create a read replica, and in order to achieve that, we need to go to actions, and here we have the option read replica. Let me click on it, and here you get the template for it. So here you need to select the replica source. So since we have just RDS DB, we selected instance identifier. So I'll write RDS hyphen DB read replica. Okay, so this is the identifier. Okay, and bus table instance classes, let us keep all the things by default, and here we have the option for cross region replication for disaster recovery. You can even select some different region, but I'll just keep into Ohio itself. Okay, and here we have some of the storage configurations which we are going to leave for now because we actually want to demonstrate the things, right? And here let me select the availability zone as US East 2A, and yeah, I think we are good on it, and let me just click on create read replica. Okay, so now it is showing that DB instance is not available at its states. Why? Because there might be some activity that might be going on the backend. So let me just click on RTS and let me check what activities is be done at the backend. So when I click over here, it is still doing the backup. So let us actually wait for some time for it to actually perform the backup, and then only we would be able to create the read replica for it. Okay. Okay. So when I tried once again after waiting for some time, it is actually creating the replica for us. Okay, I was just going through all the options which we have configured in order to double check whether we missed something or not, but actually we didn't miss anything. And in the on go, what I was doing is I was just selecting the availability zone. So I just made some change, that is I in the availability zone I just selected no preference. Okay, so that is the only modification. However, if you have kept the same, that won't be actually causing an issue, because here actually it was just doing a backup, which actually took some time for it to create the read replica. Okay, now let us actually wait for some time for it to create the replica. Okay, so yes, let us wait. All right, so yeah, it is the read replica is ready. So now what we are actually going to do is we are just going to copy the endpoint. We are going to go back to our instance. Let me just clear it and let me just rerun the command mysql hyphen h followed by the endpoint which we copied. Okay, and the user is again admin and the password is password. All right. Okay, so here now when I run show databases, you can see the products is visible. All right, let me just go select products. So use products. Okay, and now when I click on show, when I want to see the table, so I'll just type show tables. Okay, tables are there, and let me just describe workers. All right, so far so good. There is no change. Okay, but now what will happen when I try to delete the database? All right, so in order to delete the database, we have a command drop database, right? So I'll just type drop database followed by the data name that is product. Okay, okay, it is giving us an error and it is showing that MariaDB server is running with the read only option. So you cannot execute this statement, right? So that was the demonstration for read replica. Now there is one more thing that I want you to notice, that is now when I run the earlier command, that is this one, where we have the access, okay, show database, okay. Here you can see we have the product listed, and here we have the authority where we can actually do the CRUD operations. There is one more thing that I wanted to show is let me just create a new database for you. So create database. Let me create RDS demo. Okay, this would be the name. Okay, and let me just remove this RDS demo. Clear. Okay, and when I click on when I type show database, all right, RDS demo is also present. Now let me just exit it. Let me clear the screen and let me just connect with the read only replica which we created. Okay, so this was the read only replica. Okay, when I when I type show databases, you can see that the database which we created using the normal DB, that is MariaDB RDS, it got replicated in the read-only replica as well, right? So that was all about practical demonstration how you can actually create a read-only replica, right? So now it's time to delete the read replica. So in order to do that, just go back, click on delete, and here type delete me. Okay, and now here it is deleting the read-only replica. Meanwhile, let me come back and let me just terminate the instance as well. Okay, this thing is also proper. Let me go back again, and here we are going to delete the source replica as well. So click on delete, and I don't want any sort of snapshot backup, and I don't want automated backups. I just want to delete it, so I'll just type delete me. Okay, and click on delete. So that was all about the practical demonstration for RDS read-only replica. I hope you learned from this specific one and see you in the next one.